start with a little lift. Water bills are getting a bit cheaper, and restrictions are certainly becoming cheaper as two more counties end their drought emergencies. We're going to start in Santa Clara County, where Valley Water just pulled the plug on some of its restrictions. But as Len Ramirez reports, not all.
Well, despite having overflowing reservoirs and normal groundwater supplies for the first time in years, the Water District Board was concerned about messaging and the potential of undoing years of conservation education and actions.
We pretty much just tore out all the lawn.
Drought or no drought, Leah Rondo has made water conservation a way of life. Over the past couple of years, she has replaced the grass at her San Jose home with landscape rocks and drought-tolerant plants. And it's not just in front for the neighbors to see, it's all around the house. And she says that's the way it's going to stay.
The water isn't infinite, so I think that we still need to kind of plan for drought conditions in the future.
That was what Valley Water District Director said.
You can almost set your clock that every 5-10 years, we're going to have a drought.
But the near-record rains of 2023 gave them a lot to consider. Reservoirs are filled to the brim, and underground water is also topped up to normal levels. That's why district directors voted to end the declaration of a drought emergency in Santa Clara County.
This is a significant vote. It really signals that our drought has ended, but calls for our community to continue conservation and to keep up conservation as a way of life.
District directors pointed to the loss of Anderson Reservoir, the valley's largest by far due to seismic retrofitting, as one of the main reasons for continuing conservation. They didn't need to convince people like Leah, who in addition to the landscape changes, collects rainwater in cisterns. She uses it to water plants and to keep a small decorative koi fish tank.
Compared to others, I know that our bill is really low.
Besides conserving water, Leah says her new landscaping also saves money because the cost of water in wet years and dry isn't going down.
So the board also talked about long-term funding for possibly expanding some South Bay reservoirs. San Francisco also voted to end its water emergency just today, and with it, the 5% drought surcharge that's been in place since 2021. So that change goes into effect in May. Customers are still being asked to conserve water by an average of 11%, but that is voluntary. Now, other Bay Area water agencies have already announced rollbacks of drought restrictions and fees. The Contra Costa Water District just ended its 15% drought surcharge that covers Martinez, Concord, Pittsburgh, Antioch, and part of Walnut Creek. And a couple weeks ago, East Bay Mud announced it was suspending the penalties for excessive water use and making its own 10% conservation mandate voluntary instead. East Bay Mud already ended its 8% drought surcharge, but some restrictions do remain, including a ban on outdoor watering within 48 hours of rainfall, along with a ban on washing vehicles without using a hose shut-off nozzle.